It's sold today in Orlando. A sellout crowd comes into the TD Waterhouse Centre to see a former Magic player, NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace, trying to slow down the top scorer in the league. Regular season and postseason. Tracy McGrady takes the floor next.
TMac got the potion and shake the enemy. Orlando takes upset, a Magic remedy. Ben Wallace and the Pistons with just too much. Game 3 in O-Town, now he's clutch. Dallas does it all, pass, dunk, shoot for 3. Got Nash in the rhythm, 2-zip, it's game 3. Back in Portland, and was down 0-2. Looking to Rashid and Bonzi to charge the truth. Oh! You wanna know who won, how, and when? The NBA playoffs on ESPN.
Playoffs, and we are live in downtown Orlando for Game 3 in the best-of-7 1-versus-8 series. The Detroit Pistons taking on the Orlando Magic. Ben Wallace used to play here. It's Tracy's house now, and Mr. McGrady's been great in the first 2 games. The brackets in the East. The winner here takes a 2-1 series lead like the Nets did last night, and Boston as well. Philadelphia is in New Orleans starting tomorrow, trying to go up 3-0 in their best-of-7. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a doubleheader, along with Michelle Tafoya and Tom Tolbert, Mike Tirico, Tracy McGrady, 43 and 46. Nobody since Michael Jordan in 1988 against Cleveland has gone for 40 in the first 2 playoff games. He can do it again. He can do it every night. Why has he been so good?
Well, because he's really good. That's why. He
Thanks,
can do
Tom.
it.
Good night.
He can do that. Thanks for coming, everybody. It's not just the 89 points he's put up. It's only taken him 54 shots to do it. I mean, when I look back to Weird Science, as much as I like Kelly LeBrock in that movie, if you were to build the perfect offensive player, the lightning bolts, they'd hook everything up, this guy might come out. I mean, he can drive, he can shoot the 3, he can post you up, he can handle the open court, he can do everything. And what he does as well as anybody too, get his teammates involved. Now, his teammates got to help him out a little bit too, but he's willing to do everything offensively.
He's become a leader. The problem for the Pistons last year, Jerry Stackhouse, their best scorer, didn't get it done in the playoffs. This year, their best scorer is Richard Hamilton, the guy they traded Stackhouse for to Washington. Well, Rip Hamilton's shown up in games 1 and 2.
I think you hit the key word, scorer. He's not necessarily the best shooter, not the best to maybe drive into the hole, but he does everything well offensively. He's a slasher, he'll find a way, and he's a good free throw shooter. Once he gets to the free throw line, he is money. And as their backcourt goes offensively, so they go, whether it's Rip Hamilton or Chauncey Billups.
McGrady's ignited this city again. They are ready for their first playoff game of the season. Kevin Frazier and Greg Anthony in the studio. We check in with them. And then Game 3, TMac and the Magic against the Pistons.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Valvoline's Max Life. Log on to ESPNradio.com and enter the Maximum Performer Challenge sweepstakes for your chance to win a trip to the Dale Jarrett Racing Adventure. NikeBasketball.com. And Bacardi Silver 03, a premium malt beverage now with a splash of orange.
Tracy McGrady had 46 points, a franchise playoff record. He accounted for 59% of his team's points in Game 2. The Pistons and Magic are on the way. Hello and welcome inside of Playoff Central. Kevin Frazier, Greg Anthony getting ready for Orlando and Detroit, and that is Game 1 of our doubleheader. In Game 2, we will see Portland take on Dallas, and the Blazers, their backs against the wall. They're down 0-2. Greg, they haven't won a playoff game since you were on the floor.
Yeah, that was eons ago, and you know, if you think about it, this is eerily similar to that team that I was on the year after we finally won a playoff game, and that we went down in San Antonio, played 2 very difficult games. Then we come back home thinking, hey, we didn't win those games, but we had an opportunity. We should be fine at home. We come out, San Antonio comes out with a tremendous amount of energy, and they blast us. We lose by 22 points to go down 3-0. We had a little bit of dissension in the locker room. We end up getting swept, and then San Antonio goes on to win the series.
Only 7 of the 159 teams in NBA history who've been down 2-0 have come back to win the series. Don't forget there are other games going on tonight. The Spurs and Suns on NBA TV. And then, of course, we have the Mavs and Blazers at 10:30. But up next, it's Orlando and Detroit. And there's your Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Wallace goes back-to-back. Can the Pistons get another win? Mike Tirico and Tom Tolbert next.
The best best of 7 is now a best of 5, and Orlando has the home floor. The Magic won game 1, the Pistons game 2. This is game 3 of the best of 7 opening round series. Let's check our Bud Light starting lineups, the same lineups we saw for games 1 and 2, played at the Palace of Auburn Hills. The Pistons lost the first one by 5, won the second one by a dozen, more their tempo in game 2. On those Bud Light starting lineups, the Orlando backcourt, Jacques Vaughn and Tracy McGrady, with Gordon Giracek and Drew Gooden, who came over in the trade from Memphis in February, and Andrew DeClerc, who plays about 15 minutes a game. For the Pistons, Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton, the backcourt they acquired in the offseason, with Michael Curry in there for his defensive prowess up front, joining Cliff Robinson and Ben Wallace. We mentioned the scores in game 2, and Tom, as you pointed out, much more a Piston-type score in game 2 and an Orlando-type score in game 1.
Well, they cut Orlando's field goal attempts by 8 in game 2, 76-68. I think the interesting thing about tonight's game is Giracek and Gooden. You would suspect the younger players' comfort level is going to be more to their liking at home. And if they're going to advance in this series and advance in the playoffs, those two young guys are going to have to do well.
We are joined tonight by Michelle Tafoya. Michelle.
Well, Mike, Orlando held a team meeting before their shoot-around this morning, and the main topic of conversation was getting Tracy McGrady's supporting cast back on track after a dismal game 2. Doc Rivers gave the team a point total to shoot for. He wouldn't tell me exactly what that number was, but he indicated it was in the mid to high 90s. He wants his unit to stay aggressive as a group until that number is reached. Then Tracy McGrady took over. He said to his teammates, "Don't worry about me. Don't worry about getting me the ball. Great players find a way to get their points. Just go back to the way we finished the regular season with confidence and aggression at both ends of the floor." Mike?
That's right, Michelle. Item 1 to watch. Do the other guys, the Mouseketeers, whatever you want to call them, the non-Tracy McGrady players in white for Orlando, do they get theirs in the early going? They had only 11 field goals total. 11 players, 11 field goals in game 2. Hamilton, first shot of the game, is off. DeClerc did a nice job defensively. And Jacques Vaughn, the former Kansas star, leads it up with McGrady.
And it's not just going to be the point totals, it's going to be can they be efficient. As a role player, you're not going to get a lot of shots, but you have to do the 5 for 8s, 4 for 6s.
Gordon Giracek, 2 of 13 in the series, 1 of 11 in the last game, and threw it away. Talk about Giracek and everybody else who must step it up. You see they shot only 26% from the field and were bageled behind the line in game 2. The Pistons jumped out to a 41-19 second quarter lead in the game on Wednesday.
And tempo is always key when Detroit plays. Although they're not as offensively challenged as they were last year, when you're playing in this building against a team that likes to run, you got to be careful you don't get caught up in their tempo.
Ben Wallace is pushed foul called by Jess Kersey. The veteran works the game with Eddie F. Rush and Ken Bauer tonight. Doc Rivers was the coach of the year in 2000. A hustling team that had Chucky Atkins, the Piston backup point guard, as one of the key contributors. Doc has worked this team to the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year, and 3 out of his 4 here in Orlando. Cliff Robinson, a 2.
Nice draw and kick right there. I'm not sure why Andrew DeClerc is up guarding Ben Wallace. I don't think Ben Wallace is going to shoot an 18-footer, unless is about 2 seconds behind.
It's very important to watch for Orlando's young players. A lot of non-playoff experienced players in this series for the Magic. Jacques Vaughn, who's had 4 points and 6 assists in each of the first 2 games, gets the first field goal for the Magic. Vaughn now defensively on Billups. Tried to use the wall from Wallace and crashed through it, but Jacques picked up the personal foul. Rick Carlisle was the coach of the year last year and then won 50 games in his 2nd consecutive season. His Pistons eliminated Toronto last year in round 1 and then lost 4-1 in the Eastern semis to Boston. Came back with 50 in the division title here in 2003. Good ball movement. Hamilton left free for 2.
One thing about Detroit, they play as hard as anybody in the league night in and night out. You don't see them take very many nights off, whether it's a road game, back-to-back. They give you 48 minutes of effort. That's their foundation.
Drew Gooden, great game 1, poor game 2, turned away, threw it away. And that's Drew Gooden going a little too fast. He goes 45 when it should be played at 33 sometimes.
Absolutely. It's just too quick. You can see the nice passing right here. Kick out, cross-court passes are great. Then they skip over to Rip Hamilton. But yeah, back to Gooden. Young players sometimes, you need to take a big, deep breath, slow down and don't try to rush everything. You got to get the feeling. If I'm trying to rush it, then it's not right.
Hamilton off a curl. He did that 8,000 times at UConn and has continued through his years with Washington and then the trade this year to Detroit. Rip averaged 19.7 per game. And another Magic turnover, so that is 3 in the first 2.5 for Orlando. Little home jitters for Doc's team. Michael Curry, who has some offensive skills but doesn't show them very often. Billups connects, and the Pistons have extended to an early 8-2 advantage.
Now this is the point where it's 8-2. If you're a role player, do you still say, if I'm open, I shoot the ball? Or do you say, Tracy, we're down 8-2?
The Clerk takes it into his own hands and picked up the charging foul as Cliff Robinson was there defensively.
Oh, gives Cliff some guts on that one. Standing on that guy, coming in about 240 from the top of the key.
2 under Clerk, he sits.
Right about here, it's like, ooh, that one's going to hurt.
The Clerk to the bench with 2, and Stephen Hunter. Out of DePaul, the second-year man comes in. See the Magic giving it away early while the Pistons have opened 4 of 5, and Hamilton makes it 5 of 6. Terrific start for Detroit tonight in Orlando. They've quieted the sellout crowd.
And that's just catch and shoot. That's coming right up the curl, knowing what you got, knowing how far you are away, and knowing you're going to have an opening.
Pistons, an outstanding road team. Second best in the East, 20-21. McGrady, nice take. 200. They needed that. Get some energy going in the building.
And not only scoring, that's what I was talking about earlier. This is a guy that not only creates for himself, but can create for his teammates. And that, as a role player, makes you feel good.
Robinson on Gooden. It's a veteran against a kid. Indeed. By the kid, and Giricek just couldn't squeeze it. Giricek can't get out of his own way right now.
And we're talking about being able to create the crossover on Curry. Get to the middle. Look at everybody around. Ben Wallace stepping up. Not least Stephen Hunter right there open on the baseline for the easy deuce.
Not only did McGrady lead the league in points at 32 a game, 18th in assists at 5.5.
Well, he's certainly not a guy that's just looking to jack it up 30 times a game. I mean, he wants to take high percentage shots. And a turnover by the Pistons right there. Bad pass by Billups. If he can get you involved, he wants to get you involved. He doesn't want to have to shoot it 35 times a game. I mean, he will, but he doesn't want to, and he doesn't think that's best for the team.
Set Orlando playoff scoring records in the first couple of games. They say, what? Young franchise. Oh, they had Shaq and McGrady. Curry there defensively. Fans wanted the foul as McGrady hit the deck. It's been one of the topics of conversation. Why not more fouls called against Detroit? Robinson hits a 3.
Well, that guy, you know, you look at him, 6'11", you think he's probably an inside guy. He's a spot-up guy, and especially he's dangerous coming on the back end of a break on a trail.
Curry tried to deny McGrady, and the president of the NBA Players Association picks up his first.
And you're right there. Just spots up. Gooden has to come over and help on the drive and kick back to him. And when he gets a feet set, you got to get there and put a hand in his face, or he's going to make a high percentage of those.
34% three-point shooter. With the Pistons signed to a contract extension during the season. He has 2 more years with Detroit.
You saw the difference right there between Giricek and Hamilton. The comfort zone to be able to just come off the screen and shoot it.
Drew Gooden knocks down his first field goal. The Truth, as his nickname was earned at Kansas, traded from Memphis.
Did he pay Walter Berry for that? The old St. John's guy? I thought he was the Truth. Or Carl Williams. There's a lot of Truths out there, actually.
Robinson trying to go back-to-back on the triples. Hamilton rips down the rebound. And Billups will back it out. McGrady chasing Hamilton. Short, and Gooden cleans the glass. Giricek desperately needs one, but Hamilton was right in his face. No space to move against these Pistons for Giricek. McGrady on the take. Offensive foul on Tracy.
Well, you better believe every Piston's going to have their eyes locked on Tracy McGrady when he catches the ball. And when he puts the ball down, you're going to have guys gravitate to the spot where they think he's going to end up. And you watch the rotation right here. In the middle, nice job by Ben Wallace stepping in and just sitting there waiting for him.
Fans don't like it. I know fans are ultra sensitive to whistles after last night's action. That was a perfect call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Hamilton at 2. Missed his last couple of shots. And Stephen Hunter gets the rebound.
Nice job, too, boxing off Ben Wallace that time.
It's a couple of good things Hunter has done since coming in for DeClerc. Jacques Vaughn, the bounce to Hunter, fouled by Wallace.
Well, a nice pass right there.
I didn't think he could get it through.
No, I didn't. I don't know how he saw him. I think that's just anticipation, knowing that someone's coming over to help and dropping it where you think your player is going to be. That takes communication.
Hunter is short on the first day. Rare trip to the line this year. He averaged 13 minutes a game in 33 games and only shot 44 free throws on the season. And missed both of these. Stephen came at it to Paul after a couple of years. Offensive game is not caught up with what he did well in college as a 7-footer, block shots and rebound. Curry left alone. They'll give him that, and he takes it. A 2 for Michael, one of 3 players on this Detroit roster who was not drafted. A lot of hard-working, self-made players. Curry, one of them, will not sit down. Well, early, what would the other McGrady non-players do? Well, the guy is only taking 1 shot in 6 minutes, and his team's down 9 here in Orlando. Well, the MVP voting is done. We're still here to support Tracy McGrady. Off to a slow start tonight, Tom.
Well, Curry's doing a good job of getting up on him, laying the body on him, and then right there, the pig clip. Robinson's going to come out and help. You know, as they say, Mike, it takes a village to stop Tracy McGrady. That was horrible. I'm sorry.
Am I working with Hillary here?
No. Oh, Ben Wallace, a nice job. But you better believe when Tracy McGrady drives to the hole, they're going to be, what is that? 4 times 2, 8 eyes on him. And they're going to know where he's going. They're going to anticipate and make it rough on him.
Michelle?
Hey, guys, when they get on defense, Orlando, the big message imparted to Gordon Giracek, don't leave Hamilton, please. That was the message from Coach Doc Rivers in the huddle, guys.
Here is McGrady, who wanted to squeeze that one off, and he hits it too. You know, for McGrady, 89 points in the first 2 games, 60 of them from the perimeter. So his perimeter shooting has been extraordinary, and it's not like he's had many open looks.
But you're going to live with that, just like right now. The Orlando Magic are going to live with what the Pistons are doing. 7 of 12 field goal attempts, all of them from the outside, all of them with assists. If they keep doing that, you're in trouble, but you figure sooner or later they're going to cool down.
Inside to Wallace, who converts. Terrific recognition and ball movement by a veteran Detroit club there. The double started on Hamilton, and eventually it got around to the open man, Wallace.
And that was a 3-foot shot. And that was a jump shot for Wallace.
Jacques Vaughn got close. Wallace got in the way, and so did the rim, but Drew Gooden cleaned it up. A couple of field goals now for Gooden. Check. Michael Curry presents himself again, and he's hit 2 field goals. That's what I was talking about. There are people in Detroit who won't even mention Michael Curry's name. He's become the call-in show first mention. Hunter on the follow, couldn't convert. They get so frustrated that Curry doesn't have the offensive skills, but he has some offensive game. He's in there primarily for his defense.
Well, he's the guy you can't just leave him wide open for a jump shot.
Vaughn goes all the way. That time able to convert.
The last 2 plays, they're trying to get out, push it up, try to get this tempo going the way they like it. And I still say, if you're Doc Rivers right now, you're not too upset because they've been hitting all jump shots. And if they're going to hit 55% jump shots, you're in trouble anyway.
Good shooting, the difference in the game thus far. The turnovers for Orlando. Robinson lost it. Wallace got it back, and he was fouled as he tried to shoot. 2 shots. It was in the act, says Ken Marr. Well, it is the weekend for NFL fans to get ready. The 2003 NFL Draft presented by Coors Light. Chris Bourbon, Mel Kiper Jr., Chris Mortensen, Dennis Green on the main set, and everyone else. Chris Fowler, Susie Colbert, Merrill Hodge, Mark Malone, Jaws. Everybody not working a playoff game. They'll be there on ESPN. Our coverage begins at noon. That was called a flagrant foul on Jacques Vaughn, a flagrant 1. So Wallace makes it. And he'll have 1 more coming.
Let's see Ben Wallace with the offensive rebound going. Well, you can't grab the man's head. They're crying out loud. I mean, you can grab the basketball, not his head. I mean, yeah. That one I agree with. And not only grabs his head, he hangs on.
So flagrant one called, and the Pistons retain possession. Wallace goes 1 of 2 from the line.
Maybe he got a fingernail caught in one of his cornrows. Couldn't get it out. Who knows?
Detroit by 8.
Nice.
Oh, better defense coming over by Stephen Hunter. He's been very good. McGrady ready to go. Hamilton helps Curry defensively. Robinson tipped it out of bounds. 17 to shoot for Orlando.
Oh, that was a great cut, a great pass, and a better block. And right there, that was just sweet. Not out the other way. That's some length right there.
Giracek squeezes one off. Ben on the board for Detroit. Ben Wallace, who led the NBA, averaged 15.5 rebounds per game. Billups left 3 for 3. As the second time, Giracek had an easy rebound and just didn't squeeze it. And Doc's got a problem right now, because if you put the guy on the bench, then he's going to be lost for a while. He's going to be thinking he needs him to have something good happen just to get his confidence going. Gordon Giracek has turned it over a couple of times, missed a couple of shots as well. Doc trying to keep his young team up. They are young, but they are in the playoffs, and they are certainly in this series. All square at 1. This is Game 3.
This Taco Bell update really more of a look ahead to our second game as the Mavs take on the Blazers. Blazers down 2 games. The one guy who has really played well for the Blazers so far, Greg Anthony, has been Bonzi Wells.
I tell you what, Bonzi Wells has stepped up huge for this team, playing so well offensively. You know, he creates a lot of problems for you. The fact that he's great in transition, he's very good on the post, he has the ability to beat you off the dribble, he can shoot the 3. There's never been a question about this guy's ability to score the basketball and play the game the way it's supposed to. But they're going to need this more consistently out of him if they're going to have the success that they need in terms of trying to win this game.
Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells have scored 102 of their team's 185 points in the 2 games. They've been the key. They need help, as Greg said. Mike?
All right, Kevin, Game 2. Brad Nessler, Bill Walton, David Aldridge bringing to you from the Rose Garden here in Game 1. Detroit leading Orlando by 8. There is Julius Erving, Senior VP with the Orlando Magic, NBA MVP in 81. There's the NBA MVP in 79, 82. And 83. You see his MVP successes there. Moses Malone in the building as well. And Tracy McGrady had an MVP-type season, leading the NBA with 32 points per game, but just 2 in the first 9 minutes thus far. Darrell Armstrong comes in and immediately makes an impact with the steal. And thought about Gooden, tried to get it to Giracek, and Gordon Giracek is lost right now. Hamilton in transition. Curry with the left-hand flush. He has a half dozen. Pistons up 10.
Well, you can see it in Giracek's face, too. Just, the confidence isn't there. You miss the one shot you take. You drop a ball out of bounds. You lose a fast break. Easy opportunity out to steal by Armstrong. Good fumble on that one.
Try to drive, and on the pass, Giracek was fouled.
And even stuff like that happens. If you're going to shoot, they foul. You go to the free throw line. It's like, yeah, that was the worst as a player. You almost like try to just throw something up over your head if you hear the whistle.
Well, Giracek will come to the bench, and Chris Whitney will come in for Orlando. Rookie from Croatia, he's 25 years old, frustrated. Pat Garrity also checks in. He's playing with a bruised pelvis, which is as painful as it sounds.
And it sounds painful.
And he has been limited, barely able to get lift off that right leg. You can see it in the jumper, and it is a jumper that has been off. Garrity has only scored 2 points in this series, and he averages nearly 11 a game.
What's funny, as a bruised pelvis, what does he get off? A 3, stand still. Got to make him put the ball on the ground.
McGrady, with Curry in his face, hits a 3.
Think about him, too. McGrady, he hits as many tough shots as anybody in the league. I mean, guys right in his face, and he's still able to elevate over him and drain him.
That was corrected to a 2. So Hamilton's field goal there makes it a 10-point lead again at 24-14. Hamilton leads all scorers with 8. Michael Curry has 6. 3 Orlando players with 4. And Darrell Armstrong, the 9th-year veteran, another undrafted player, gets the hoop there. Cliff Robinson hobbled after that one. Chucky Atkins came in the game for Chauncey Billups, former Orlando player. And, defensive 3 seconds is called on Orlando. A technical foul. Free throw coming for Hamilton. Log on to NBA.com for the exclusive 2003 playoffs section featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com. Very good free throw shooter, 83% is Hamilton. Pistons +9 and retain possession. First look at the rookie from Turkey, Mehmet Okur. As mentioned, Cliff Robinson was shaken up earlier. Slowly, Cliffy walks to the bench.
Well, Kerr is a guy you come in, another big guy like Robinson that's going to not kill you posting up. He's going to face the bucket. He can almost extend his range out to the three-point stripe.
Whitney extends the defense on Hamilton, giving away a lot of size. Chris Whitney is 6 foot. Hamilton 6'7". Rip over top. Ooh, write it down.
How about McGrady hitting tough shots? Two guys right in your face.
Hamilton 5 of 9 from the field, 11 points in this opening quarter, and 69 points in the first 9 quarters of this series. Whitney tries 3. Wallace able to get it.
That's what you love about Wallace. He came from the far box, pursued the ball, and got the rebound, when 2 other guys were actually in better position to get that rebound.
Garrity bumps Wallace. See if Wallace makes a look at the goal here. Little fade for Ben.
That was one that looked like it came off Ray Guy's foot. Just kind of hung in the air for a while and landed softly inside the 10.
Armstrong left free for 3. Relentless energy was missing in game 2 because he picked up 2 personal fouls in his first 2 minutes.
Well, he's a guy not so much anymore, but if he gets hot, he can give you 20, 25 points. It's just he plays at such high intensity over the last 3 or 4 years. He's kind of beating his body up a little bit.
Back to 8. On the bump, Hamilton gets some free throws out of it. Whitney picked up the foul. Rip is able to elevate quickly anyway, but with a 7-inch height difference, it's night and day.
Well, you can see the confidence in Rip Hamilton when he's coming off the screens, just slow. Okay, I got it. Shot, dribble, pump fake, get you up in the air. And the last couple times he hasn't pump fake, he's gone up. So Whitney thinks he's going to catch, dribble, and go straight up. He gets him up, foul, go to the free throw line.
Hamilton and Whitney know each other, the former backcourt starters in Washington. You watch Hamilton here at the free throw line as he takes his second. I love this routine. 2 dribbles, dribble to the side, and then he brings it in, shoots it. It kind of sets a nice rhythm for him, that dribble off to the side as he gets set.
You would know more than I, but didn't that all start with Dwayne Washington in Syracuse? Kind of to have the style with the free throw shoot. You get the dribble and the head cock, and then you just clank it up there about 61%. I mean, a lot of those guys seem like they actually worked on their moves more than they worked on the free throw shooting. Is this look cool? Yeah.
A little bend, deep breath. 1, 2, 3, next side. There you go.
It's all rhythm. What gets you into your shooting rhythm? You do it. Free throw is all repetition. You just want to do the same thing over and over and over again. Well, unless you stink, then you might want to change.
Tayshaun Prince has come in the game. He did a good job on McGrady earlier. It's Curry in there now. Final seconds of the quarter. Watched by Curry. TMac on the take. Ben Wallace the board. Quarter done. So the Orlando Magic held to 19 in the opening quarter. This is the 6th best scoring team in the NBA, not able to feed off the energy of the building in the early going, as the Pistons shot 57%, and they were led by their top scorer, Rip Hamilton, who's answered the playoff bell. 13 to the first. Detroit by 10 after 1. Number 1 in the league in regular season and postseason scoring in the first 2 games. Tracy McGrady held to 4 points in the opening quarter. His team trailing by 10. McGrady does not want to be like another superstar when it comes to postseason results.
I saw what KG went through in the offseason with all the criticism about him being put out of the playoffs and not being able to take his team to the next level. I don't want to be put in that situation, so I'm just more determined this year. And it's like you say, this is a winnable series for me and my team, and whatever it's going to take, I'm going to go out there and do it.
Michelle Tafoya, the Tracy McGrady we visited with today, is certainly focused and is becoming a leader as this series and season goes on.
No question. He said, I'm out to prove a lot of people wrong, that although I'm the only all-star on my team, I'm going to be capable of pulling this off. He really wants to get out of the first round, Mike.
Here he is now chased by Prince. Wallace inside defensively, and he goes inside to get a hoop there. And it's an 8-point game. See the numbers after one. Good shooting from both teams. The difference, the 6 Magic turnovers, giving Detroit more opportunity. The Pistons assisting on 10 of the 12 field goals in the first quarter, and a travel call on Hamilton. Good defense by the veteran Armstrong.
I think you look at the 10 assists, that's a big number. The 10 assists, it means you're moving the ball well. Guys aren't having to create a lot of one-on-one opportunities. They're not only creating, but they're pitching out, and guys are wide open and hitting jump shots.
Armstrong shut off, try to get Sean Kemp dialing down the lane. Kemp is in there with Pat Garrity. Armstrong and Whitney the backcourt with McGrady as well. The Pistons had 15 assists in game 1, 20 assists in game 2. Off the screen, McGrady. Prince tried to get to him, and it was a foul on Orlando. So Garrity will pick it up, try to set the screen on Tayshaun Prince.
Give the guy a break. He's got a bruised pelvis, for crying out loud. Hard enough to even try. Give him some credit. He stepped in and tried to set a screen.
7 Orlando fouls, 3 of them on the offensive end. And Jess Kersey settling clothing here. Getting Chris Whitney tuck the jersey in.
It'll look right.
You're pretty feel good. Chucky Atkins, who was the starting point guard most of the year for Detroit last year, has been very classy in how he's handled the bench role as Chauncey Billups has taken over the starting role. Williamson in the game, double teamed. Prince able to go get it. 2 to shoot. Tayshaun saw it and took it on the run. And Ben Wallace keeps the possession alive. Left free for 3, Atkins.
Boy, that hurts. Get a nice defensive tip, almost get a stop. There's really nothing you can do about it. You throw up a 23-foot brick, comes careening off, and it just happens to be Ben Wallace anyway.
McGrady with Tayshaun Prince right in his face. And that look from McGrady starting to feel it and heat up here in quarter number 2.
I don't think he didn't hear people saying, oh, Prince did a real nice job on you last game. Prince shut you down last game. Okay, let's see what happens this game. And he knows.
Taking Detroit out of their offense here a little bit. The second unit. Prince tells Atkins got to shoot it. And Garrity on the board. Oh, the Pistons bench, best bench scoring-wise in the NBA. They're not getting it done here in this series yet. McGrady stays out with essentially the second unit for Orlando. It makes a world of difference. Armstrong. Kemp take it. Make it.
Now, not quite as athletic as he once was, but still a guy who knows how to play the game, pick and pop, step out, and realize he's wide open.
And the Orlando fans brought to their feet as the Magic have gotten off to a good start here in quarter number 2. 7 points in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Pistons by 6. Be right back.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Sprite, Obey Your Thirst, and Saturn, makers of the View redesigned L Series and the all-new Ion.
Welcome inside Playoff Central. Once again, Kevin Frazier, Greg Anthony. Greg, let's look ahead to Game 2. The Dallas Mavericks with a 2-0 lead on Portland, and one of the reasons the Big Three playing so well.
I'll tell you what, they played extremely well. All 3 are stepping up. You know, what makes them so difficult to guard is they're just as apt to beat you from the perimeter as they are with their penetration. All 3 multidimensional. All 3 have the ability to beat you, not only offensively in terms of scoring, but passing the basketball and making plays for their teammates.
As good as the Big Three was during the regular season, they've somehow stepped up their production in the first 2 games of this playoff series against Portland. You see the numbers, and there are the players. Sean Bradley getting off the bus. I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. Let's go back to Mike Tirico.
Yeah, Kevin, thanks. Portland hasn't won a playoff game since they were up 15 in that 4th quarter against the Lakers back a few years ago. Swept the last 2 years. They can use one at the Rose Garden tonight. Michelle Tafoya.
In that last huddle, Mike, Doc Rivers telling his team, look, You haven't got a break so far. Nothing's going your way. Nothing's going your way, except maybe that call right there. But he said, still and yet, he said, you're only down 6. He said on offense, if you don't like the shot you see, keep passing the ball. No reason to force it. Trying to get his guys to calm down, Mike.
That's a good point, Michelle. Really, nothing's gone their way. He's not overstating it to his guys. The offensive foul on Corliss Williamson, his first. No Piston with more than one. John Barry in the game for Detroit. Pat Garrity can't get his legs under him to take a shot.
Yeah, it's tough, too, and you wonder how long Doc Rivers keeps him in there. He's not a guy you keep in for defensive purposes. You keep him in there to score.
Atkins used the screen, got to the cup, and give Chucky 2. You know, he's fired up to be back here. He played in Orlando.
Sean Kemp got a cold on that one. He went by him.
Tracy quick take. Williamson boxing out defensively. Atkins pushing too hard and got helped by a bailout foul call on Armstrong.
Foul on number 10, Darrell Armstrong.
Darrell's first.
His first team foul.
Guracek going to check back into the game. See if he can get a little confidence going.
Get a little size back in there as well.
Exactly. Well, with this lineup right here, you would expect that your primary focus is trying to get Williamson the ball on the box, and then you have Atkins and Barry and Tayshaun Prince to spot up, and Wallace go get it off the offensive glass.
Ben out high, they leave him free. Here's Williamson on the box. Garrity just digging in on Corliss. Good D. Very good D. Williamson, 13 points in the last game, got to the free throw line 8 times, just 6 in game 1. Off of the barometer for this Detroit team, how Corliss goes. Kemp from 20. Ben gives away a rebound to a teammate. Rarely does he do that. Bounce right to Chucky Atkins. Off the ball. Another foul on Garrity, trying to deny Williamson that position on the low box.
I'm not sure if I like that call. I mean, I understand what you're doing, but big boys, let them battle. I love this look right here by Drew Gooden. Somebody get him a fishing pole and some Bermuda shorts to go along with that. That's like the ultimate old man look right there. Black shoes, high black socks, Bermuda shorts, fishing cap with the lures in it, a little fishing pole. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Something I might wear.
I just love when you go fashion because it just opens up a myriad of possibilities.
Believe me, I know.
Memo Core hands to Chucky Atkins, 6 to shoot. Armstrong turned him off. Atkins threw one up. And Drew Gooden, long socks and all, comes away with the board. Barry, constant energy guy, knocked it out of bounds. Rick Carlisle has not given John Barry as many minutes as Barry's used to. John averages 18 in the regular season, but just 11 and 12 minutes for the guy who's probably the best golfer in the NBA.
What's he, scratch?
Yeah, he's scratched.
Is he really? Yeah, he's pretty good.
McGrady fouled by Prince, and free throws coming.
Foul number 22, Tayshaun Prince.
It was kind of bizarre to see Tayshaun Prince come in at about the 4-minute mark of game 2. When he did come in, Tracy McGrady's shooting kind of slowed down a little bit. Tayshaun helped McGrady to 3 of 8 after McGrady went 13 of 18 in the first 2.5 quarters.
Well, he's long, gets up with a hand in the face, and I was talking to Kevin O'Neill, assistant for the Detroit Pistons, and he was saying because he's left-handed, he can go up on McGrady's right hand instead of having to cross over, and I think maybe that helped somewhat, although, you know, it didn't matter left-handed, right-handed, long or not. If you're going to score and you're McGrady get it going, you're going to get going.
Rookie out of Auburn, Pat Burke, who played for about a half dozen years in Europe, he's come in. Prince also has a sweet outside jump shot, did not look it in the last game. Williamson to the goal, gets fouled. Corliss Williamson, he is just, I mean, a load when he gets ahead of steam coming down the lane. Burke picked up the foul.
And he likes to take it to the rim. He likes to take, he's always leaning. He's got that lean to his body going in. And he's just a big guy, and he's one of those guys, too, that's able to take that contact and finish a lot of the time.
Ah, the Thunder Sticks.
Don't you start down? You start, man, the manufactured noise.
I thought it was lame, Tom. They actually pregame had somebody out here showing people how to use Thunder Sticks. Come on. Yeah, my little guy's got it here.
He's got it going on. Yeah, if you need a direction, instruction manual to learn how to use those things. I suggest you probably may want to get your GED to go along with it.
Discard, and offensive foul is called on the Magic. Darrell Armstrong finds himself on his back and says, wait a minute. I'm on my back and you're calling the second on me, Kemar? And Doc Rivers said, okay, the fouls didn't go our way in game 2. How about balancing it out? 4 offensive fouls on the Magic here in the first 16 and a half of game 3. Mehmet Okur hands to John Barry. Okur, who has a lot of offensive skills. Good pass down low to Williamson. Denied inside. McGrady, Gooden, and Burke there defensively. And last touch by Okur. If you're just joining us, Pistons led by 9 early on, by 10, 29-19 at the quarter. Orlando, a good surge early second to keep it closer. Armstrong posting on Atkins. Little fade. Little foul, too.
Well, nice job by Armstrong. Watch him create the I was going to say create the... Didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact there, to be honest. Good job, Armstrong, anyway, though, to finish and get the free throw.
Magic within 4 inside of 7 minutes. First half, game 3 of the best of 7. Orlando now has the home court advantage in what essentially is a best of 5 series after they split at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
He's got the lob there. Somebody better help. Corliss Williamson, if he weren't still good enough, had the lob.
Corliss cannot get going, but able to hit that nice running hook with Burke flying by defensively. Back to Burke, working on Mehmet Okur. Nice. That's his patented shot, that little lefty jump hook in the lane. Again, it was very good footwork for somebody who toiled for 4 years in Greece and then was signed as a free agent this summer.
Well, after spitting out a 29 spot in the first quarter, the Pistons have managed 8 in the second quarter. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hamilton getting back in the game to try to get a little more offense back.
ISO Williamson. Fadeaway over Gooden.
Give him his due on that one. That's a tough shot. Gooden did all he could do, bodied him up, make sure he couldn't get to the rim. And anytime you can force the guy to fade away baseline, you've done your job.
Beautiful pass by McGrady. Saw that Williamson got lost defensively and found through Gooden. Even though McGrady has 4 of 7 in the field goal department, 3 assists for TMac here in the opening half, and the Pistons take timeout. He cannot do it by himself, and he's getting a good contribution here in the second quarter from the rest of his teammates. Tracy McGrady's dished 3 assists thus far to go with his 11 points, and his Magic down 4 here in game 3. Back at the TD Waterhouse Centre in Orlando with Michelle Tafoya and Tom Tolbert. Mike Tirico, first of 6 NBA playoff games on ESPN and ABC this weekend. Our Miller Lite storylines, we start night 7 of the 2003 NBA playoffs. Both teams over 50% from the field. Pistons had 10 assists in the first quarter, just 1 in the first 6.5 of the second. Orlando has cut down on its turnovers and is back in this game. Drew Gooden's hit the last 3 shots that he has taken. Tracy McGrady has gone for 11 points after 4 in the opening quarter.
That's never a good sign. When you're shooting close to 60%, you're losing. You have to figure you're not going to end the game at 60%. You're going to come back down to earth a little bit, and you realize the reason it is you have 8 turnovers. You've got to be able to hold on to the ball.
Pistons go back to mostly their starters. Exception, Williamson in for Curry. Billups missed a 3, a rebound of McGrady. Taken on a run. Knocks down 3.
He just walks into him. I mean, you got to get up on him starting at about 25 feet. He'll walk right into your face and launch.
Williams, baseline on good. Oh, rolls it down. Whoa. Corliss Williamson.
Oh, he morphed into Big Nasty right there.
That's right, he did. That was shades of the old Arkansas days, huh? Williamson has the last 7 Piston points. You know McGrady's feeling it. Gets Williamson on the switch. Trying to give him no space. To Burke. Rebound Wallace. But that's okay for Doc Rivers, right?
No, that's a great shot.
Yep.
I mean, that was created by Tracy McGrady. And if you don't shoot that, you muck everything up. I mean, you got to be able to shoot the shot when you're open.
And if you don't shoot those, you have no shot of winning the series.
Absolutely.
That pass by Wallace, intercepted by Gooden. Detroit more careless with the ball here in the second. Magic a chance to tie or get within 1. Vaughn.
Oh, just inhaled that rebound. It was up there. It was like Gooden, Wallace, Gooden, Wallace.
Due to that last turnover, I'm checking everybody out. Corliss working on the box on Gooden again. The help is coming from Burke. And Gooden called for the foul. So Corliss Williamson is just drawing fouls left and right down here on the low box. And then, look what he did earlier.
Just cupped it and ripped it. The turnaround jumpers with Corliss Williamson. That was Big Nasty.
Williamson right there with Michael Redd and Nick Van Exel. The official qualification for 6-man, limited number of starts, and Corliss started just once, playing all 82 for Rick Carlisle's team this year. Robinson finds Hamilton. Unable to pick up where he left off. Hamilton had 13 points in the opening quarter. Detroit led by as many as 10 here in game 3. Series all tied at 1. Magic trying to get back within 1 on Drew Gooden's jumper. McGrady has 14. Gooden and Armstrong 8 apiece. Drew Gooden hasn't missed his 4 field goal attempts. 1-point game with 3:20 to go. Jiricek fouls Hamilton.
He got it. The first time, I think Hamilton wanted it, and the second time, he was going to give it to him, even if he touched him just a little bit.
First on the 6'6" rookie from Croatia, Jiricek. McGrady in his ear. If you weren't with us earlier, Jiricek had just a hideous first quarter. He couldn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
He looked afraid, and the Magic need him in this series because he has outside shot ability. Decent defender as well.
Sometimes the brain gets in the way. You just got to let it go. You just got to play and not think too much. You start thinking, boy, if I drop this one, is coach going to take me out? If I miss this shot, are my teammates going to pass it to me? You got to get rid of the if-Is and just go out there and play.
Hamilton, 1 of 2. Who's going to get it? Off the board to Jiricek. Magic and tie or take the lead on this trip. It sense the building we're ready to go. Robinson and Williamson out on McGrady. Who's open? It's Jacques Vaughn at the top, yelling for it. Burke will take it and make it. Robinson fouled by Burke. 2 on Pat Burke. And a timeout. They're on their feet at the TD Waterhouse Centre. A little extra juice for this playoff run here in Orlando. A franchise reinvigorated by the emergence of McGrady and company.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Miller Lite. Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Coming up in moments on the ATT Halftime Report, Greg Anthony and I will talk with Scottie Pippen. He is scheduled to be with us, so we expect Scottie to be there. And hopefully we'll also look ahead at some of the games this evening, including the Mavs and Blazers, the game that Scottie might play in. He is still a game-time decision on whether he will play. That guy will play. The youngster from Germany lighting the Blazers up. Dallas with a 2-0 lead. Let's head back to Mike Tirico.
Kevin Dirk Nowitzki, one of the 6 40-plus point games we've had here in the first 19 games of the NBA playoffs, and that guy has 2 of them. Tracy McGrady, 43 and 46 in the first 2 games. Rip Hamilton's been no slouch in the first couple of playoff games with 28 and 30. And both leading scorers have shown up for 14 thus far tonight. All square at 42. We have Cliff Robinson free throws out of the timeout after the foul on Pat Burke.
Well, Pat Burke's giving him some energy coming off the bench. And he was the guy when they didn't have anybody earlier in the year. He came in, he stepped up, gave him some good minutes early on in the season, both points and rebounding.
Burke, the first player born in Ireland to play in the NBA. Went to school down this way, Cape Coral High School. A much better quarter for the Magic as the Pistons' second unit, the alternators as they call them in Detroit, did not get it done again. Gooden, for the first time tonight, Orlando leads. Drew Gooden, after 2 of 9 in game 2, has hit all 5 field goal attempts in the first half this evening. So he's responded. Williamson lob for Robinson. Turned it over.
You got to put a little more air into those. Just float him a little bit more. He had a nice seal job on him. He just stood a little too flat for him, and he couldn't release and get there in quick time enough.
Chuck Vaughn, McGrady, Gooden, Giracek, and Burke, the 5 on the floor for Doc Rivers' team. Gooden feeling it, taking it, making it again. He's hit all 6. And he's only been with this franchise a couple of months. Gooden, Giracek in the trade from Memphis right before the deadline. Foul on the baseline on Giracek, trying to stop Rip Hamilton for one of those baseline cuts that he makes.
Well, I'm thinking at some point you may want to make Drew Gooden put the ball on the ground. 3 times in this quarter, he's hit from the left side, just catch, spot up, and shoot it right in your mouth. So you got to get up, make him put it on the ground, make him do something.
Hamilton 4 or 5 from the line, make it 5 of 6, and here's Michelle.
Hey, guys, it's been a tough season for Drew Gooden when you think about it. He told me before the game, and he counted these off. He said, I've been through 3 head coaches, 15 different assistant coaches, 2 different cities, 3 different systems, 2 different sets of teammates. He said, just now I feel like I'm starting to get in my flow here. Although he did make an early impact when he hit Orlando as well, guys. But that game 1, a good indication of what he might be capable of in these playoffs.
And Michelle, 51 games he played in Memphis, and they make the coaching change as Hubie Brown came in there in late November. 1-point Orlando lead, and here is Gooden, perfect on the night from the field until now. Ben Wallace lost that rebound as Gerald Sasser made contact out off the Magic.
Well, Ben Wallace got up into him that time. Got up into him, made him make a move, and didn't let him just, set his sights and shoot from 17 feet.
Doc wanted the foul there, going for the loose ball. Minute 15 left. Magic leading by 1, 46-45. Hamilton off the curl, on the move, couldn't make it, and Burke gets the rebound.
I think he got distracted. The guy falling in front of him, worried about where he's going to put his feet down.
Pistons do a nice job on the screen and roll and recovery. McGrady is firing. Wallace gets the board. 52 to go in the quarter. 8 rebounds now for Ben. After 13 and 16 in the first 2. Hamilton trying to abuse Gerald Sasser, the second-year man. He's in the lineup for the first time. Billups, acrobatic shot. Wallace gets his 9th board. That's goaltending. Oh, they say it was short. Say it was short. No goaltend. Vaughn on the other end. Got it to go. The building's alive in Orlando. Magic have outscored the Pistons by 13. Here in the second. Billups foul. By Vaughn. Jacques Vaughn's 3rd.
Well, apparently this was coming nowhere near the rim. It's hard to tell from that angle. Oh, it looked pretty nice. Vaughn getting the ball out right by Curry. A nice extension on the finish. Maybe you can tell right here. Yeah, that's nowhere near the rim.
Good
that
ball.
way close.
And Rick Carlisle immediately was up looking for the goaltend, and Kemar was right there, and Rick banked off. So after Vaughn's third, Billups to the line. Excellent free throw shooter, ninth best in the league. And he missed the first one. Orlando's going to take a 20 here to set up what they want to do in the final 7 seconds.
Well, Billups has just been an absolute non-factor offensively. And if they're going to forget about the first round, if they're going to try to advance any further than the first round, he's the second leading scorer on the year. He's got to come through with some points, and he just hasn't been doing anything offensively.
Well, here's the story in the East. Game 4 of this series, all squared at 1, will be played Sunday, 5:30 Eastern. You'll see it here on ESPN. New Jersey with the buzzer beater. Rodney Rogers misses the 2 free throws, then hits the fading 2. Nets lead at 2-1, Game 4 on TNT tomorrow. Boston jumping out at Indiana 2-1. We had Game 1 of that series. But what a performance from the Celtics, and now the Pacers are in some trouble, down 2-1 at the Fleet Center for Game 4 on Sunday.
Well, the Celtics have been about their defense, and that's what carried them last year was their defense. And I don't remember exactly 6 or 7 guys in double figures. It wasn't just Walker. It wasn't just Pierce in Game 3. It's everybody contributing, and to me, looking at their defense throughout the year, I didn't know if they were playing as well as they were at the end of the year, but right now they're ratcheting up the defense, and that was a defensive masterpiece in Game 3. And
for New Orleans, injuries once again in the playoffs. And Baron Davis looks like he will play Game 3, and Mashburn likely not to play Game 3 with the busted finger.
Down in New Orleans, I think they had a witch doctor down there or something, voodoo doll.
Vaughn taking. Gooden tries to beat the clock. Halftime. Detroit scored 10 more in the first. Orlando scored 12 more than the Pistons in the second quarter. Gooden had 12, McGrady 14. The Pistons shot 33% from the field in quarter number 2. And Tracy McGrady and the Magic lead by 2. And here's TMac with Michelle.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Early on, it seemed as though you guys staggered out to your start a little bit and then really found the rhythm. Where did the energy come from?
I don't know. They came out with a lot of energy, and we came out like we did in Game 2. But thank God we didn't get ourselves that big of a hole. And, we just stayed in there, executed on both ends of the court, and got ourselves back in the game.
The big message prior to the game today from you was to your teammates, don't worry about me, I'll get mine. You guys worry about yourselves. How do you think they've responded?
It seems like it's working. First half, I just tried to get those guys involved and not do too much. But they just got to come out second half and play like they're doing now. We need more, though. We need more. We can't be satisfied.
All right, good luck, Tracy.
All right.
Back to you.
Well, Michelle, the rest of the other 11 players that are not named Tracy McGrady made 11 field goals in Game 2. They were 16 of 28 in the first half, a big difference. AT&T Halftime Report with Kevin Frazier and Greg Anthony coming up from the studio, including an interview with Portland's Damon Stoudemire. Well, the leading scorer in the NBA regular season and postseason, off to a good start. He had 14. And at the break, Orlando trying to take Game 3 and take a 2-1 series lead, leads Detroit by 2.
Welcome to the AT&T Halftime Report.
In Game 2 of this series, TMac was the only Magic player in double figures. Tonight, Tracy McGrady getting a little help from his friends. Drew Gooden already with 12 points in the first half. 48-46. The Orlando Magic leading the Detroit Pistons at the break. Kevin Frazier alongside Greg Anthony, as always, inside Playoff Central. And Greg, so far so good, Magic getting the help and the contributions from the other key players.
Well, it's key because Detroit's defense has gotten much better. They've contained Tracy McGrady. He's only got 9 field goal attempts. However, the other guys are stepping up. As you mentioned, Drew Gooden having a great game, which he did in Game 1. If that continues, they have a very good chance of winning this game.
It's funny you mentioned teammates stepping up in the Portland-Dallas series. Portland needs the rest of their teammates to step up. Bonzi Wells, big in Game 2, but everybody else very small. One of the guys that will need to step up big will be Damon Stoudemire, and he joins us live right now from the Rose Garden. Damon, thanks for hanging out with us for a minute.
Oh, no problem.
Dave, got to ask you, man, you didn't play a lot during the regular season, but now you're averaging 29 minutes a game. How does it feel to get back in the mix? How good does it feel?
It feels good. You have to be ready at all times. It was all of a sudden, but luckily for me, I had kept my head right. I stayed in shape. I did the things that I needed to do. So when I got the call, I was ready.
You know, Dame, hey, it's Greg Anthony. How you doing, my man?
What's up, dog?
Hey, listen, let me ask you, obviously a difficult time for you during the regular season. What was the relationship and what is the relationship like with you and Maurice Cheeks?
I mean, it's fine. You know, we have never had a communication breakdown. I've always been able to go and talk to him. He's came to me on several occasions, and I mean, our relationship, believe it or not, is positive. You know, I mean, there's no bad blood between me and him. I mean, we laugh and we joke, so I don't think he has a problem with me, and I don't have a problem with him.
Let me ask you also then, coming in, obviously, with the injuries you have, Scotty probably not playing tonight, you're going to have to take on the added responsibility of scoring for this team. How do you feel about that, and have you talked with any of the coaches or the other players about what you're going to have to do to help this team win?
Well, yeah, I definitely have talked to Maurice, and, you know, I feel like I got to get a lot in transition. You know, that's where I can be most effective at, is pushing the ball and, you know, trying to make things happen in the transition game. I mean, but like we talked about a little earlier, obviously we can score points. We don't feel like we'll have a problem scoring points, but we need to stop Dallas, and we haven't been able to get a big stop in this series yet.
Speaking of getting stops, Damon, how big would it be to get Scottie Pippen back, and will he play tonight?
Well, I don't think Scotty's going to play tonight, but, you know, it would be big if we can get him back. I think defensively he'll help us out because he's somebody that can guard the 1, 2, 3, or the 4. And I think when you're playing a team like Dallas that has such versatile players, you know, a player of Scotty's defensive caliber is really needed. And, you know, I think that's where we miss him the most out here right now.
You know, obviously, have you guys talked about this much, the fact that you haven't won a playoff game since you and I were teammates? Is that a part of the conversation in the locker room, or has it been made mention by the media or whatever? Psychologically, how does that impact you?
Well, I mean, a lot of these guys, Greg, wasn't here when we were all together. It's really just me, Rashid, and Sabonis and Bonzi. But, you know, in the back of our minds, you know, it's there a little bit, but I think for the most part, you know, we just got to get that one, you know. I mean, you got to get one. And, you know, they say it's not as serious until you get one, until both teams win one game, and we got to get one game. So not only we get the monkey off our back, but we can make this a series and make Dallas feel a little pressure.
Hey, Dave, before we go, I want to ask you a question real quick. You've made a huge donation to the public schools in Portland, and you are very active in the community as far as charity. But at the same time, this team has taken a rap and been called the Jailblazers. How tough is that, and how tough has it been on you especially?
I mean, it's tough. You know, it's real hard for me being from here. But, you know, I think that each person on this team, you know, the things that have happened this year, I mean, we all regret that, you know, but you got to learn from that. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then, you know, you're going to make them again. You just got to learn from those mistakes, and you got to move on. But it's hard because, you know, we are a team, and regardless of if you have six guys who are fine, you know, and you got another 5 to 6 guys that go out and get in trouble, you know, the whole identity of the team is going to be messed up. And that's what has happened here. But, I mean, overall, I think we have a great group of guys. And, you know, we just got to continue to try to, you know, help our community out, you know, talk to the fans, you know, try to win them over, get them back out, you know, get them to support us the way that they've been known to support the Blazers in the past.
Yeah, Dave, I just want to mention you donate $200,000 to the Portland school system to help for programs that had been canceled. So it was a good deed by you. Damon Stoudemire, good luck tonight, and thanks for hanging out with us for a few minutes.
Thanks,
all right, thank you. All right,
take care. Hey, it's still ahead tonight. You will see Damon on the floor, and if Scottie Pippen doesn't play, they'll need big minutes and big points from D. Stoudemire. Trailblazers and Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks with a 2-0 lead in this series. Meanwhile, this game, our series, all knotted at 1. The difference in this one, the help from Mr. Gooden, helping out Mr. McGrady, and Orlando has the lead.
This halftime report is presented by the world's networking company, AT&T. Welcome back to the AT&T halftime report.
Welcome back to Playoff Central. Kevin Frazier, Greg Anthony now. We'll have Dallas and Portland on our air, but we'll also keep an eye on the Suns and Spurs. That's Game 3 of that series, all knotted in one apiece. What should we expect tonight?
Well, you're going to get a heavy dose of Stephon Marbury. He didn't shoot it well, particularly in that first game, but the second game he was on fire, played extremely well. He has his own Tony Parker and anybody else that San Antonio's tried to put on him. If that continues and they get more production from Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire, this could be a long night for the Spurs. But also expect Tim Duncan, I think, is going to have a much bigger game. He needs to get more field goal attempts. That's going to be important for San Antonio. He's only averaging, I think, 13 field goals a game.
Marbury's outscored Parker 58-9 so far in this series.
Not good.
That is huge for the Phoenix Suns. But we still have a second half of basketball to play in Orlando. The Big Nasty with the Nasty. Corliss Williamson the bucket, but his team trails by a deuce.
This halftime report is presented by the world's networking company, AT&T.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs on ESPN. Tom Tolbert, Michelle Tafoya, Mike Tirico. Time for our first half stats as Orlando has taken a 2-point edge here in the second half. Tom, a much better second quarter for the Magic offensively and defensively. Why?
Well, one of the reasons was Detroit stopped hitting jump shots. I mean, Detroit hit 10 of their first 11 field goals were jump shot. After that point, only 2 outside jump shot. And you expected that. You expected them to cool off. Offensively, Drew Gooden in the second quarter. Pat Burke in the second quarter. Role player, I mean, a lot of guys stepped up and hit shots in the second quarter. Even though Tracy McGrady got it going in the second quarter, you had other guys getting it done. And right here, they're just going to play him physical in the first quarter. You're going to have bodies on him. Like you said, he's driving. Guys know where he is. And in the second quarter, it was, let me go ahead and got a couple shots on Tayshaun Prince and a pull-up 3 right there, which there's no way you can stop that if you don't pick him up at about the 25-foot mark. You can see right here the Tracy McGrady shot chart, only 9 field goal attempts after averaging in the mid-20s the first 2 games. Inside, 1 on the left wing, and then 3 right there, 2 makes and a miss at the top of the key. I would expect, even though, Gooden efficient, Jacques Vaughn efficient, Armstrong efficient, 9 field goal attempts, he's going to be more than 18 by the end of the game.
All right, Pistons went south in quarter number 2. Michelle, what did Rick Carlisle have to say?
Yeah, well, I spoke with him coming out of the locker room. He wants to see, of course, better play out of his team on both ends. Specifically, he pointed out that 57.1% shooting by Orlando in the first half. And for a Detroit team that has made a living defensively, that was simply unacceptable, Mike. Yeah,
they allowed 44% field goal percentage for the opponents this year. Drew Gooden, a terrific first half, but has missed his last couple of shots. Ben Wallace, Cliff Robinson, Chauncey Billups, who got nothing going, along with Michael Curry and Rip Hamilton, the 5 on the floor for the top seed in the East. Detroit won 50 games in the regular season.
Well, if Chauncey Billups can't get anything going, I don't think they can win this game.
Q, Billups, who had 3 in the first half, extends that to 5 and squares the game at 48. McGrady and Jacques Vaughn with Gooden, Jiricek, and DeClerc, the 5 that started the game for Doc Rivers. And here's Gooden coming down the lane. Ben Wallace with the rebound, his 11th.
Well, you see a pattern. I mean, you see three jump shots, 3 makes. 3 times he's put the ball on the ground, 3 misses.
Tracy looks like he took a shot under the chin on one of these possessions. This one's going the other way, a foul on Chauncey Billups. Tracy McGrady doesn't have that huge smile during a game or even off the court. He's kind of just got that easy going motion. And you've got to be around him a little bit to appreciate how well-spoken he is, his intelligence, and his emerging maturity in his 6th year. A guy who came straight out of high school has accepted a leadership role to go with his wonderful talent. He can score 32 a game in this league. DeClerc traveled. He felt he was fouled. And Jess Kersey just points the other way and says, hey, I've heard it from about 1,000 guys. You make 1,001. Play on.
Well, I think, going back to Tracy McGrady, I think it's great when you can have one of the top 4 or 5 players in the league be as good a guy as he is. I mean, it's just great for the league when he can, you get guys that are as nice as Tracy McGrady is.
Orlando getting frustrated here. Jacques Vaughn picks up the foul. There's 4 on the starting point guard and brings Darrell Armstrong, who had a very good 8-point first half, in off the bench right away. You think about McGrady in December when they had that terrible spate in the fall of the sniper shootings in Washington, the youngest victim here on in that one came here to Orlando. Iran Brown, the youngest sniper victim, as Tracy McGrady's guest. After McGrady saw Cliff Robinson missed the three, Wallace 12th rebound. After McGrady saw that the young man Brown said, Tracy McGrady is my favorite NBA player. McGrady, like Jermaine O'Neal of Indiana, paid for a military family to come to All-Star Weekend in Atlanta. One of the things that don't get as publicized. Wallace, physical at Gooden. Great job by Drew Gooden, recovering defensively. McGrady in rhythm triple. Write it down.
He's got to be your #1 priority on the break. You got to find where he is on the break, and whether he's your guy or not, you got to flow out to him. He is great.
Wallace missed the dunk, fouled by DeClerc.
I mean, he finds the little nooks and crannies, and he floats to the spots on the break as well as anybody on three-point shots, and you got to be able to find him.
Ben Wallace shooting 2.
And you're going to see right here just a nice look ahead by Armstrong. But, you know, someone's got to help Curry out right there. Curry's trying to get over there. And if you're Rip Hamilton just standing there.
Ben Wallace is not a great free throw shooter, but had a very good game at the line in game 1. You see his totals tonight, 4 points and 12 boards. Ben was 7 of 8 from the line in game 1. Hit his first couple the other night and went 2 for 7 total for the game. It hits both there to put the Pistons back within 1. The Pistons, like so many teams, do chart everything in practice, and Ben, over the last couple of months, has improved his free throw percentage in practice into the 70s. We're seeing some of that in the game. Giricek, who had just a horrible first half, still can't get anything to go for him on either end.
But that's the only way you get out of it. I mean, you keep shooting. If you're a shooting guard, small forward, you shoot to get out of it. Try to get yourself maybe an offensive rebound, tip it, something like that.
McGrady helps defensively. Robinson a second try. And Cliff Robinson puts Detroit back on top by 1.
Well, something subtle there that Cliff Robinson did.
Billups got lost in transition, banging with DeClerc, and it allowed Armstrong to get to 10 points here on the night. Good job hounding defensively by Armstrong, who started most every one of the Magic games the last 3 seasons. Now has become a bench player. Hamilton missed it, kept alive by Robinson to Michael Curry.
Well, it's a couple extra chance points that they have gotten, or a couple extra chances, I should say, they've gotten. Wallace, Robinson on the rebound. You got to box out and body up.
Armstrong called for the foul. Personal fouls here tonight, 19 for Orlando, 7 for Detroit. Hey, you can catch the NBA playoffs in high definition on NBA TV coming up in less than an hour. Rookie of the Year Amari Stoudemire and the Phoenix Suns host San Antonio. Pivotal game 3 at 10 Eastern on NBA TV. Of course, our second game is Dallas in Portland. The Mavs leading that series 2-0. Brad Nessler, Bill Walton, and David Aldridge will have that as soon as we're done here. And the guys in the studio will keep us updated on the game in Phoenix as well. Hamilton, that's 2. Tough shot.
You know, when it's going bad offensively, it seems like guys do that to you defensively, too. Giricek right in his face. As good a defense you could have. And the guy just puts it right on top of your head.
Needs it. Has it. A 3. Good for him. Giricek, who had 2 points in the first 8 quarters of this series after averaging 14 a game, bangs a 3 there. McGrady defensively on Billups. Chauncey steps back. He can't make it. Gooden on the push.
Got numbers.
With Wallace down behind the play. Armstrong to Gooden. Ben joins the play. Robinson helps defensively. Doesn't matter. Timeout Detroit. The Magic on top by 4.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, cold, down, easy. And Warner Brothers' new motion picture, The Matrix Reloaded, in theaters Thursday, May 15th.
The Orlando Magic trailed by 10 after 1. They now enjoy their biggest lead of the night. It's 4, and the two kids from the trade in February for the Memphis Grizzlies with back-to-back field goals.
Well, just a nice kick right there. And a confident stroke. You're open, you got to shoot it. That's the only way to get yourself out of a slump. And here they make Gooden put the ball on the floor, but a nice job at taking the contact and throwing it up against the glass. I'm not sure if he called it or not, but it really doesn't matter.
Michelle Tafoya.
Before the game, guys, Drew Gooden told me that he's been a little bit startled playing defense and offense against Cliff Robinson because he remembers the first time he watched Cliff Robinson play. It was when Robinson was with Portland playing in the finals against Michael Jordan and the Bulls, and Drew Gooden was in 4th grade at the time.
Oh, good defense by DeClerc and Giricek coming back to the basket. Giricek runs to the line, feeling confidence for back-to-back 3. What one shot can do. +7 Orlando. On an 8-0 run. Robinson backs in on Gooden. McGrady the double. Turned it over. Tracy wants it. Takes it. Last touch by Gooden. Piston ball.
Well, right now, you know, even with Gooden, Giricek hitting a couple shots, it's been the Orlando defense that has turned this thing around. They're getting the deflections, they're getting the rebounds, and they're able to push it up and get this game going at their speed.
Remember how good the Pistons were in the opening quarter. They shot 12 of 21 from the field.
Ran him over.
Going the other way, offensive foul on Billups. Chauncey is shaken up as well.
Well, when you're struggling, you force things that aren't there. And that just wasn't there. There was no hole there to go through. You're going to see right here, DeClerc, nice job of sliding over. And he just lowers his shoulder. That's like the belly option. Just give me a yard. Give me a yard.
And a foul called on Cliff Robinson. Both Billups and Robinson pick up their first. No Piston has more than one personal foul. Billups was his second, I beg your pardon. But a very frustrated Orlando fandom trying to see the fouls even up. It's now 19-9 fouls called against teams. You see the Pistons have gone cold. Giricek looked inside. Jess Kersey has the whistle first. Pushing foul on Detroit.
You know, he wouldn't have made that move in the first quarter. He wouldn't have made it in the second quarter. Or if he would have, it would have dribbled off his foot. You get the confidence now. You hit 2 jump shots. And you feel like, okay, it's going back a little bit. Let me see if I can put the ball on the ground, make a move for myself, and see if I can get somebody else.
He's looking for 3 in a row. That time he faked it, stepped on the sideline, out of bounds.
See, now things are going his way. He missed the jump shot, but it didn't even count. He stepped out of bounds.
Rationalizing. One of the great equalizers. Chauncey Billups, who after that offensive foul you saw on the replay, took the knee to the thigh. And he's a little hitch in the giddy-up, as they say. Hamilton is being blanketed defensively on the floor. Finds Billups, 2 to shoot. He lost the handle. And he's having trouble running as well. Giricek in rhythm. And Carlisle takes another timeout. A 10-0 Orlando run. Of the 10-0 run, Gordon Giricek.
And he's not even thinking right now. It's catch, open, let it go. And that's bottom.
Doc Rivers thought he'd have more confidence in Gordon Giricek here in the postseason because he's been playing pro ball since he was about 13 years old on those young professional teams and playing in Europe. Won the European Championship, which is such a big deal, and has represented Croatia as well in national events. Idolized the late Drazen Petrovic, who is, for so many of the Croats, such a defining force in their game, and the passion in the outside shooting that the former net, who tragically was killed in an auto accident 10 years ago, showed as he broke the barrier coming here to the U.S. and playing in the NBA. But Giricek, whose confidence was shot in the first half, 2 of 13 shooting in the first 2 games, has hit 3 consecutive field goals here in the third quarter. Meantime, Billups being looked at on the bench. The Pistons trying to sub in Corliss Williamson for Michael Curry. And cannot right here, so Curry comes back in. Meantime, Chucky Atkins will play the point as they ice the left thigh of Billups.
Well, we talked earlier whose role players, or secondary players, if you will, would step up and be more efficient. And right now, without a doubt, it's been Orlando.
Yeah.
Drew Gooden has shot well, been extremely efficient. Darrell Armstrong extremely efficient. Giricek here in the second half. And outside of Richard Hamilton's explosion in the first quarter, the Pistons are having a hard time finding someone who can get them a shot, a quality shot.
Wallace fouled 29 feet away from the basket. And that's a rookie not understanding what's going on big picture.
Yeah, and what is he going to do with the ball 29 feet away? Not a lot of guys are going to do anything with the ball 29 feet away from the bucket, but certainly Ben Wallace.
14 fouls on Orlando, 2 on Detroit in the first 7 minutes of the third.
The defensive intensity right now is nice. Everybody's denying, putting a body on people.
Williamson across the lane. Free throws coming.
A little too much of a body that time. That's okay. You'll deal with that.
Tom, it's interesting. People talked about this Detroit team and why did they not have second-round success last year, losing 4 straight to Boston. They are a 50-win team, and Rick Carlisle has done a great job. When you look at the talent on this roster to win 50 back-to-back years. But the Piston style of basketball, as you said before, all-out playoff-type intensity in the regular season, other teams come to match that level in the postseason. Thus, their advantage of hard work is slightly nullified as the intensity goes up from the opposition in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, I firmly believe that. I think that's why they win so many games during the regular season. A testament to Carlisle and the Pistons. But when you get to the playoffs, everybody's giving maximum effort, maximum I shouldn't say efficiency, just going out there and giving it their all. And I think you lose some of that advantage you have, and the talent starts to take over.
McGrady's been quiet in this run. Here he is. 5 in the quarter, 19 in the game, 5 assists. Orlando leads by 9. They trailed by 10 after 1. Pistons once led by 11 in the second quarter. Williamson goes baseline on Gooden. Got it back, but traveled. It never hit the rim. Williamson says it was touched by a Magic defender, and Eddie F. rushes over to help Ken Moore with what he saw there.
Well, he's saying somebody touched the ball, and that's why he was able to get it back. It was hard to tell from the angle we had whether a Magic player deflected that ball, whether it was to Clerk. I'm sure that's what the discussion right now is. Did you see it clearly? Did anybody see this clearly? And we'll see the drive right there by Corliss Williamson going up and see if anybody, well, now let's see if anybody touches it before he did. No, that's a travel.
Doc Rivers has right to be unhappy.
Yeah, unless
Piston ball.
I was looking at the hands. That didn't hit the rim.
You say it hit the backboard.
Hit the backboard.
Shot clock stays the same. 16 to shoot for Detroit. Having a hideous offensive quarter. 3 of 8 field goals, 6 turnovers. Michelle.
Guys, Chauncey Billups still on the Detroit bench. He took a knee to that left thigh just above his knee. He's getting it rubbed down right now, but they don't think it's anything serious, and they do expect him to return, Mike.
There's the look on the offensive foul drawn by Andrew DeClerc a couple of moments ago. He stayed in for a few possessions, but couldn't go to Chucky Atkins at the point. Hamilton off the screen. First good look at the quarter. Wallace denied by Gooden physically. Good job by Gooden.
Oh,
McGrady.
Nice.
Gooden fouled held by Williamson. Doc's looking for a flagrant one, just like happened against his team earlier on. All he's going to get is a foul on the act on Corliss.
Well, that was a great drive by Gooden, running right down the middle of the court. Boom. Ben Wallace a little late getting up the court. And that's one of those, I'm not sure if you fall down, maybe you get a flagrant.
Drew Gooden and the rest of the supporting cast for Orlando has been nothing short of brilliant here tonight. Remember, as a unit, take away McGrady, and all they had was 11 field goals in game 2. Tonight, they are shooting in the neighborhood of 60%. And they've banged 4 triples as well. But Gooden takes an over at the line. Where will Detroit's offense come? And when the Pistons have struggled this year, that's been the question. Who's going to step up and knock shots down? Giricek, physical with Hamilton. Ben Wallace, not normally the guy you look to for offense.
Oh, that's horrendous. You're struggling offensively. You can't find a way to put the ball in the basket, and that's what you come up with? And you got to at least try to get Corliss Williamson or Cliff Robinson down in the box and let them work one-on-one and see if you can get somebody to space that lookout.
Beautiful pass to McGrady from Armstrong. And another timeout for Rick Carlisle. Scored 29 in the first quarter, just 27 since, and Tracy McGrady is leading the charge, but the Orlando Magic, rest of the cast, Darrell Armstrong with the assist there, they are really helping McGrady out, not having to carry the load tonight, but it's freeing up their superstar to do everything in a very comfortable role tonight. One of the reasons Orlando leads by 11. And his cousin, Vince Carter of the Toronto Raptors, here in the house this evening. I talked to Vince before the game, and he said Tracy has always had the ability to play like this, but not the confidence of the "it's my team." That was part of the story with McGrady not staying in Toronto as well. It was hard to coexist with Vince, two take over the game type guys. Somebody needs to do that for Detroit, and Williamson scores there to make it a 9-point game.
Couldn't Tracy hook him up with a little better seats? He was up there with him. Come on. Come on, cuz. Help me out a little bit.
Tracy buys 17 regular season tickets. Giricek, 10 here in the quarter.
Well, the Pistons have lost their fluidity offensively. We talked about the 10 assists they had in the first quarter. 2 cents in the last 23 minutes. 2 assists.
Hamilton is banged, shooting 2. It's a foul on Giricek. 3 on Gordon. Here's Michelle.
You guys, one thing that Gordon Giricek has been doing much better since his shot started following is fighting through those picks and staying with Rip Hamilton. And he was told that at shoot-around today by Doc Rivers. He said you can't afford to get sort of hung up on those screens. You've got to fight through them, and you've really seen Giricek come alive on defense doing that here.
Those are some tough screens, Michelle. Ben Wallace, Cliff Robinson, that's a lot of big fellas to get around here for Gordon.
Ben's a man-sized screen. He's the one guy I don't know if I'd want to see in HD TV. He's so big. It seems like he like busts through your TV and grab you. And this, I mean, he's as put together as any player in the NBA.
Well, how about that shoot in Sports Illustrated? The kids hanging from his biceps and stuff this year?
He is a man's man, is what he is.
14 rebounds. They're out on McGrady, and the foul is called.
I mean, look at that. It's just, that's a big man, and that's well-proportioned big man, too.
Out of the Virginia Union, same school as Charles Oakley.
Another well-put-together man.
Yes, speaking of big fellas, Warren Sapp. Sure, we'll be watching with great interest the NFL draft, as you see, noon Eastern.
What if he got that Super Bowl ring on? He just might.
Is he looking for money for me? He makes more than almost everybody in the building. Come on, Warren. 9 here. Detroit needs a couple of stops and a couple of scores to tighten up the game heading to the 4th. So Clark sees a lane.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Less than 2.
Robinson faking 3, taking 2. Stop, score, 7-point game.
That's critical here at the end of the 3rd quarter. And that, not only from right now does Detroit have to go on a run, you can just hold it at 7. You don't want to backslide again and be down 11-13.
Armstrong, good shot. He used the McGrady screen very nicely.
That guy missed a shot today?
Darrell Armstrong? No, he's not. The legendary Marty Aronoff working his 4th playoff game of the weekend here courtside with us.
Better be careful of getting up too close.
Hamilton on Garichev. Where's the help? Here's DeClerc. Hamilton. Now 1 of 6 here in the 3rd quarter after opening 5 of 9 in the 1st. Gooden coming down the lane. Stopped because of Wallace's presence. But he got the rebound over Wallace. And a foul call on Ben. And a technical foul as well.
Ben's getting a little physical under there. You see a nice pass right here. Gooden up, banks it, grabbed the rebound. I think Wallace was a little upset with the swing of the elbows, and Wallace came down pretty hard on top of the ball and the hand.
Armstrong makes the tee. Orlando back up to 10, and now we've got Gooden's free throws coming.
Let's see the block right here. Up, and a lot of ball on that one. And you, whoa. I'll get you a tee most times right there.
Usually. You could say, sir, I don't think that was the right call. But just the body language, you're going to get one.
Exactly.
After 3 misses at the line tonight, that's Gooden's first free throw. It's an 11-point Orlando lead, equaling their largest of the night. The Magic trailed by 10 after 1. By 11 early 2nd quarter here in Game 3 of the best of 7. Opening round series. Remember, Detroit the top seed in the East. Orlando the 8th, but the difference from the 1 to the 8 seed was just 8 wins in the Eastern Conference. So there's not as drastic a difference between 1 and 8. McGrady to the bench for the first time tonight. Williamson 2 free throws.
Do you have any idea why his socks were up in the first half and socks are down now in the second half? I wonder if it's one of those Cliff Robinson, like, changing the headband type deals. Maybe if your team's ahead, you take it. Teams, I don't know. Thought I'd throw that out there for you.
I got nothing for you on that, sorry. The Magic have taken a timeout. 49.2 to go here in the 3rd. They lead by 10.
Steve Nash warming up 28-8 in Game 2 against the Blazers. Dallas with a 2-game cushion. That's coming up next. Michael?
Well, Steve with his fans there in Portland. We'll see that game coming up as soon as we're done here. Final minute of the 3rd, and Orlando leads by 10. Let's remind you of the full slate of games here this very exciting playoff weekend. Game 4 in Milwaukee and Game 3 in New Orleans on TNT tomorrow, and then right after that at 10 Eastern, Sacramento, Utah, Game 3. Sunday we'll have Indiana, Boston at noon. Minnesota, LA, Game 4 with the Wolves up 2-1 top. As we left the Target Center after the ABC game last Sunday, the last thing I would have believed is that Minnesota would have been up 2-1 in that series. I would have believed that the Minnesota Wild would have beaten the Colorado Avalanche in their series before I would have believed that the Timberwolves would be up 2-1 on the Lakers.
I think a lot of it came from Troy Hudson and just the reckless abandon that he's played with the last couple of games. And if I'm open, let's shoot it. If I'm open, that's what we're going to play defense. We're going to go 94 feet. We're going to take open shots. We're going to press them, try to make sure we shoot before they set up their defense. And it's worked brilliantly for him the last couple of games.
Williamson 1 of 2 at the line. Pistons 17 of 23. Free throws tonight. Pistons 3 more rebounds than the Magic through 3, and then it's an offensive foul on Orlando. Drew Gooden will pick it up, and that is his 3rd. DeClerc has 4, Giricek and Gooden have 3, so does Armstrong and Garrity. Giricek will come to the bench after 10 points in this quarter and get a very good hand. As it's Armstrong, Garrity, Burke, Gooden, and Sasser to close out the final half minute.
And not to mention, back to the Minnesota-LA series, that Kevin Garnett's been a complete stud. Just unbelievable.
Hamilton a foul. 3 on Rip.
You better watch out.
Pistons were whittling it down just a moment ago, but the Magic can go back up a dozen with a score and stop. Garrity. Eagles can get nothing going with that pelvis injury. Wallace, the rebound, is 15th. Last shot for Motown's team. Hamilton off a screen on the runner's Rip. Could not get it, and that's the 3rd. Very nice. A 9-5 on the balance beam for Darrell Armstrong as he went up. Well, Tracy McGrady rested the final minute of that quarter for the first time all game. McGrady and the Magic in great position to take a 2-1 lead. They're up 10. Off we go to the 4th quarter. Game 3 of the best of 7.
Time for our Dockers Defender's Edge, and Greg Anthony, it's Orlando gets the team award.
I tell you what, Stephen Hunter stepping up big. Also, TMac getting involved with the action. And then even here, the guy who's supposed to be getting the blocks, Ben Wallace, rejected by Drew Gooden. Who would have thought that the Magic would be the defenders in this game?
Log on to ESPN.com and vote for your Dockers Defender's Edge. Speaking of Defender's Edge, not a lot of people can stop Rasheed Wallace, but can he help his team slow down Dallas? That game's next.
All right, Kev, we're set for the 4th. Magic by 10, and here's Michelle Tafoya.
Well, John Barry, Mike, recently made this observation about the Pistons. He said, for whatever reason, we've created a pattern the last 3 weeks. We play poorly, fall behind, then turn it on in the 4th quarter and make it close. Sometimes we get lucky. Most times we lose. We know that's not something we can do, especially in the playoffs. And yet here they are, guys, tempting fate again.
And a 17-point window in the 2nd and the 3rd will do that. Tayshaun Prince, John Barry on the floor as Williamson goes baseline and picks up the first foul of the quarter. It's on Garrity, and that's Pat's 4th.
Well, the 2nd quarter of the game changed the whole complexion of the game. That's where the energy changed. That's where Orlando's bench came in and gave him a spark. Detroit's bench came in and really gave nothing besides Corliss Williamson, who scored 12 of their 17 bench points.
Wallace, the only starter, although Williamson's on the floor a lot in the closing minutes of the 4th for Detroit. Barry gave it away. Not a hoist. Air ball, shot clock violation.
Nothing easy. Nothing easy right now for the Detroit Pistons.
Well, it's what Doc and Kevin were talking about in the studio, and it's an Orlando team that was 24th out of the 29 in the league. They gave up 98 points a game.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say, unless Orlando just leaves the court, Detroit's not going to have 98 to end this game.
If we have 5 overtimes like Anaheim and Dallas last night in the NHL, they might strain to get to a C note. Sean Kemp, physical on Wallace. And stayed right there as the presence. Darrell Armstrong is everywhere, but so is Corliss Williamson on that trip. Look at Darrell. Big old smile on his face.
He's like, oh, you got me. I thought I had you on that one, but I didn't have you. You had me. Because right there, he thinks, oh, man, where'd he come from?
That's nice. There's the first missed field goal. McGrady, who rested the last minute of the 3rd, and then the long commercial timeout between. Back to start the 4th. Prince's long arm altered the release on that shot. And the rookie out of Kentucky, first-round pick for the Pistons. 23rd overall selection in last year's draft. Tries to start it on this end. Barry is an energizer. Sometimes will do things that will shoot you out of the game. Williamson missed, kept the rebound.
You're gonna watch the pick and pop with Garrity.
Brady left alone on Prince with a lot of help. They force him to the center. McGrady took another shot under the chin as he was fouled by Williamson.
His third and first team foul.
That first step of McGrady's eats up so much ground. He's just so long, and it takes him one dribble, pow, and then pow again as you're going down. Take that one. They can't call 2 fouls, so I'll get another shot in at you. I used to do that.
Well, take the second one.
Oh, yeah, I got to get fouled, and if he's going to, like, if he tried to go for a layup after he got fouled, I'd whack him again. But you know what? They're not going to call 2.
Is that the defensive equivalent of taking the shot when you know you're going to be subbed for and the guys at the table waiting?
Pretty much. Liberties.
10 to shoot, Orlando plus 10. McGrady tries to spin on Prince, who's in his jersey. Sean Kemp an air ball, and Barry and Prince save it for Detroit.
Well, just nothing in the open court right now for Detroit. And then, well, they're not an open court team, fast-breaking team. You got to try to find a way to get something easy right now, because every shot's being contested. Every shot, hand in your face, just nothing, no good looks right now.
Not a lot of movement either.
No.
Barry, who can get hot from the outside, knocks down 3, 41% three-point shooter with his 6th team, Milwaukee, Golden State, Atlanta, the Lakers in 3 years in Sacramento. Darrell Sasser to McGrady, who got the first step on Prince. Nice recovery, 10 to shoot. TMac again. Barry there for help. Foul on John.
Well, he was bound and determined that time. And you see Gooden coming back in the game. His numbers from game 1 up, game 2 down. And tonight, 15 and 7. And you just stopped it right there and said, would you take 15 and 7 tonight, Coach Rivers? Oh, yeah. And he'd take 15 and 7.
That foul was given to Tayshaun Prince. Doc Rivers, 81 games of experience in the playoffs as a player during his years with Atlanta, the Knicks, and San Antonio. He's with the Clippers as well. .41, 43, 44, and 42 wins in his 4 seasons. And hasn't had the team that they had hoped of having with the Grant Hill injuries over the last 3 years. 4 ankle surgeries in 3 years. Grant, by the way, not in the building tonight. Williamson knocked down. And let's see what they have here. It's another Gooden foul. That's 4 on Drew.
Well, they're going to WrestleMania down there, getting after one another. And Gooden's trying to front Corliss Williamson, and Corliss Williamson is trying to push him up the lane so they can open up a lob opportunity.
This head fake by Barry, dropped it to Corliss, who had cut further in. Tayshaun Prince, for a guy who didn't play a ton of minutes, not afraid of going at McGrady. Armstrong, big shot. Rushed it. Prince left, Atkins right, it's Chucky.
Nice.
6-point game.
They're just kind of hanging around.
Nervous thunderstick clatter in the building. Gooden.
Oh, tough shot.
Over the defensive player of the year, Wallace. And last touch, Detroit. Jess Kersey will hold on to it during the timeout with 8.5 to go. Game 1 of our playoff doubleheader, night 7 of the 2003 playoffs.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, long-lasting trucks on the road. Burger King, the sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back for a limited time at Burger King, cooking over an open fire. And Miller Lite, life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
Scottie Pippen just moments ago in the Portland Trail Blazers locker room. Doesn't look like he's going to play, does it, Greg Anthony?
Maybe golf tomorrow, not basketball.
He is not dressed to play. Let's head back.
We'll see Scotty, I'm sure, in the same active role as he was in Game 2 as Warriors Cheek's loyal assistant. Helping out Jimmy Lyman, Herb Brown, and the rest of the crew. Portland, Dallas comes up after we're done. Here it's a 6-point game, and let's check in with Michelle.
Mike Doc Rivers in that last huddle issued a warning. He said, you guys have to stay aggressive. He reminded them if they don't like their shot, don't force it. Pass the ball. He said every possession, you have to keep your focus. Take good shots, play great defense. Mike?
Well, MT, they haven't scored a field goal in nearly 5 minutes. 0 of 6 from the field here in the fourth, and they've seen a lead dwindle to a half dozen. McGrady with Prince defending. Atkins came over for help and foul.
Well, you got to get there a little quicker. If you get there once he's making his move, you've gone too late. Once he has the ball in the low block, if you're going to go and make sure you shut off the lane where he can sneak through.
Chauncey Billups, still the heat being applied to the left thigh that he injured in the third. It's Atkins who's gone since at the point guard spot. 4 to shoot for Armstrong. A shot clock violation, so that is now 0-7 for the Magic. And Detroit can make it 4 or 3 on this possession. What Michelle talked about a few moments ago, John Barry said sometimes they get themselves back in it. They're very close to doing just that. And Barry's been a big reason. His 3 was huge. Berkeley overplaying the steal. As McGrady with him goes all the way. Fouled by Tayshaun Prince, but great play on the defensive end by the rookie out of Auburn who spent 4 years in Greece and was signed this summer as a free agent.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see because I'm not sure there was a foul there. But let's see. Burke, nice job of stepping through, stepping around, and here he comes. It's hard to tell from that angle. But you know what? Burke looked like he was running after the ball after it went off the rim. Usually that's a pretty good indicator that, you know what, I don't know if I got fouled. I better go get that one.
I don't think Pac's been in that scoring position often this season. One more free throw coming. He took 58 free throws in 783 minutes this year. See still more Detroit free throws, but Detroit's more go to the basket team than Orlando is.
And that's one thing that the Magic did do well for the course of the first 2 games. A lot of things well, but one of them was shoot free throws. They were lights out in both games. I think 41 of 46 in the free throw line combined. Tonight, not as good.
Wallace missed inside, but a foul called. Leave on Gooden, and that is 5 on Drew. Team foul 3. So Wallace comes to the line. Fouls in the act, and they'll get Gooden on the bench here for a few and bring Andrew DeClerc in. And Chauncey Billups is getting up off the Detroit bench. We'll see how he moves.
Boy, that hurts. You want to talk about point blank. I mean, he almost was able to lay that in over the rim and couldn't get it down. And I'm not sure that may have been one of those ones if he makes a bucket, they don't call it a foul. But since he didn't, they give him the free throw. But instead of 2 easy points, you may get none.
Yeah, 45% shooter, missed them both. Lead remains 7. Chauncey Billups doesn't look that good as he takes his first steps. McGrady now sees Cliff Robinson over Cliffy. 3 chase for it. Dive on the floor by Armstrong, keeps it alive. 3T TMac fouled by Robinson. 3 on Cliff.
A great hustle by Armstrong. Love guys that get on the floor, get the wood burns, the floor burns. Here it comes.
15th foul, by the way. You got to love that hustle from Darrell Armstrong. Dove on it like a football player. Was a football player in his college days at Fayetteville State. As McGrady missed the first. He was a football player, but he was a kicker.
Was he really?
Yeah, played for 2 years. Now, he didn't want to see Warren Sapp. He said, I'm kicking. He made a 48-yard field goal in his career at Fayetteville State twice.
Wow.
Played in the CBA, the USBL, played in the GBA, the Global Basketball Association. He played in Spain and in Cyprus. If you go to Cyprus to keep the dream alive, you deserve 9 years in the league and some serious playoff minutes.
Here, here.
Up 8 as we approach 7 minutes. I want to say hi to our viewers in Cyprus tonight, by the way. Williamson, offensive foul. Four on Williamson.
You're going to see Corliss right there. Nice job by the clerk. That's a terrible call. And the referees, as you pointed out, Mike, the referees did a real nice job tonight. Real nice job. Well-called game. That was a missed call. The clerk was sliding on that one.
The now confident Giricek, after his 10-point third, turned it over. Chauncey Billups with it. He hasn't looked for a shot his first couple of times. Barry has Ben. So they come and double John, who throws it out of bounds off Pat Burke.
What's your problem with Detroit? Where do you go? With Orlando, you go to McGrady and let everybody feed off him. If you're the Pistons, what do you got? Who can get you something right now on their own, and who can get somebody else something?
Barry, that's 3. Rebound for Wallace, who keeps it alive, and is now 16 for Ben.
Billups needs to do something.
I don't think he's got it. I think that guy's really bothering him. Williamson, tough shot. Rebound to Clark.
One guy on the boards.
Robinson steal. Thought about taking the 3. Billups to Corliss. 6-point game. The guy who can be the scorer for Detroit and was in the opening quarter, Rip Hamilton, set to come in halfway through final period. TMac, sweet move, better shot. He has 25. Doesn't look like he's going to get a third consecutive game with 40, but it's his first field goal of this fourth quarter. Williamson fouled by de Klerk, his 5th. Foul trouble mounting on the Magic. And you know we're going to have a couple of whistles in the last 5:40. Tracy McGrady, 9 of 16 from the field for his 25 points. Trying to get 40-plus in his first 3 playoff games. He doesn't care about that. He just wants to go up 2-1 in the best of 7.
Games underway down in Phoenix. The Spurs and Suns. And here's a key for the Spurs. Tony Parker, 9 points in the series, 10 already, Greg Anthony.
Well, again, he hit a big shot in game 1. I think the confidence is starting to come. But how about Lamar Stoudemire?
The rookie of the year with the ill-freaky fake and shakes, Tim Duncan. Spurs lead this game by a nickel. Meanwhile, Steve Nash getting set for the Mavericks and Trailblazers. Steve, where you going? Steve. Oh, see those Canadian guys. They're so clever. Guys.
Good job, guys. Orlando +8 here. Now, our favorite part of NBA Fridays. Sprite, mad, skills, zip.
Armstrong, Gooden, Giricek. We talked about the role players and playing efficiently. They've done that and more tonight. A combined 7 points in game 2. Try to throw that in there. Tonight, not only have they put up the points, you see right there, 15, 10, and 13, they have shot 59% in the process. That is efficiency.
The Mouseketeers, Tracy and the Pips, whatever you want to call them here in the Magic Kingdom, have put on a much better show, similar to their game 1 effort. Magic won game 1, Pistons won game 2 as they split in Auburn Hills. Hamilton back in, the hot guy in the opening quarter. 2 to shoot, love to shoot, didn't get it off. Well, they say he did and he missed. I think it was in his hands. Meantime, he tangles with Burke behind the play. O'Grady has Williamson. Invading his personal space.
Well, they're going to have to help because I think he can go by him whenever he wants to.
Hamilton helping. Tough shot. Wallace inhales another one. 17 for Ben.
What a clerk, great position. Just mistimed his jump that time.
Ben 13, 16, and 17 rebounds in games 1, 2, and 3.
They're only down 8 points. That's it, 8 points. But it seems like right now, 8 points would be a huge effort to get in a quarter, let alone the last 4.5 minutes.
Can't get a good look. Another air ball, but it was put in before the shot clock by Williamson. A half dozen, 4.5 to go in the fourth.
Well, if you got to rely on stuff like that to score points.
Orlando's defense has been really good.
It's been tremendous.
Ooh, Cliff was tremendous there with the block by Robinson. McGrady has time. Foul shooting three. Three free throws for Tracy. Gooden ready to check in with his 5 fouls.
Tracy McGrady shooting
Michelle.
three.
Guys, Tracy McGrady said coming into this game, when I'm feeling good on the basketball court and the jumpers are falling from me, you're pretty much at my mercy. I just stay in attack mode when I see it's one-on-one. And it seems as though earlier in this game, Detroit did a nice job doubling McGrady, making him less productive, but when he is one-on-one, he gets opportunities like this one.
Well, he's just a tough guy to guard. When he gets it going, and you got to be long, you got to be athletic to be able to stay up with him. And if Corliss Williamson's going to try to guard him, you're going to have to send help immediately. Corliss Williamson, a nice defender, but more of a wide body and can bang you. He just can't stay with Tracy McGrady on the outside.
McGrady 2 of 3, 6 of 9 on the night. Orlando as a team 10 of 19. From the free throw strike, most important, they are +8 as we approach 4 minutes. Final period, game 3, series square at 1. Game 4 here on Sunday on ESPN, 5:30 Eastern Time. Hamilton, who knew the help was coming from DeClerc, trying to beat him to it. It's off Gooden, 2 to shoot for Detroit. Hamilton 1 of 10 shooting since his good opening quarter.
We got to watch the second guy here coming off a screen. Baseline, or you get a guy for a lob pass.
Hamilton tries to break out. Gooden pops out. Robinson taking 3. Air ball, shot clock violation. That's about 3 of those here in the second half. Detroit has been poor shooting since the first. The Magic 9% here in the fourth, and they lead by 8. They've only lost 2 points off their lead, and they've shot 9% from the field in 9 minutes. Wallace, nice job in the air.
Well, at least if you're shooting 9%, you can go like 1 for 8 and increase it. Always nice.
9%. 7 and 17 for Ben McGrady inside. Held into a foul.
They bodying up on him right there. Got the separation. A little too late. Ben Wallace trying to get over. I'm not sure if his feet were inside. Yeah, feet were on the line. That's an automatic block and send him to the free throw line. Chance for a 3-point play. Boy, his free throws, boy.
Tracy's in the 70s, a 79% shooter, but he is 6 of 10 at the stripe tonight. Pistons only have 1 timeout left. Remember, Rick Carlisle used a bunch to stem the run in the third. Orlando up 8, 3:20 from a 2-1 lead.
Kevin Frazier, Greg Anthony in the studio. Let's check in once again on the Spurs and Suns. And Tony Parker, 13 points already, Greg.
Played big. You know, Tim Duncan has not even attempted a field goal, and that's because Tony Parker has provided the spark offensively.
Meanwhile, Stephon Marbury has answered with 8 points. Of course, you know he will get his. Thing is, can he slow Tony Parker? Spurs lead this one 25-18. Hey, can anybody slow Bonzi Wells? Dropped 45 points Wednesday night against Dallas. Now, he averaged only 15 points during the season. That's the lowest scoring average of a player to score 45 or more in a playoff game, guys.
Wells a terrific effort in that career high without Anderson and Pippen in Game 2. Game 3 coming up. Orlando by 8. Here is the Chevy game track for this third game in the best of 7. Pistons were very good in the first quarter, have not been good since. Hamilton has 20, but he has made just one field goal in the last 2.5 quarters. The Magic have been a victim of the Detroit solid defense here in the fourth. McGrady approaching 30 points after 43 in game 1, 46 in game 2. Tracy has 8 of Orlando's 9 here in the fourth quarter.
Well, if you shoot 12 points, and all they do is shave 2 points off your lead. I mean, at this pace, Detroit they got to find someone to score. At this pace, Orlando won't even have to score again to win the game.
Atkins back in. Chauncey Billups couldn't go with that thigh injury. They go to Wallace over Gooden. Air ball off to Clark. Detroit ball.
I mean, what in the world is that? I mean, give Ben Wallace due. The guy is a battler, heart and soul of this team, plays hard. But if that's your offensive option, with 3 minutes left to go in the third game of the first round of the playoffs, something has gone terribly wrong.
Atkins to trigger, got to be a quick one here. Williamson. Wallace got the rebound. Trying to go right back offensively. Tough shot, Wallace again. Atkins got the rebound. They got a bang one. Hamilton a 3. Check got the rebound. You're 100% right. You cannot win that way.
No, I mean, I don't know. It seems like all the continuity that they had in the first quarter, and that seemed like about 5 years ago.
A score here would be big. McGrady 3. He's so good, Gordon. 20 for Ben Wallace tonight. Approaching 2 minutes, almost a must-score possession for the Pistons. Atkins for Hamilton, that's 2. His second field goal of the last 3 quarters. A half dozen the margin, final 2 minutes.
Well, that was a creation. Chucky Atkins did a good job of creating for somebody. And that was a catch and shoot.
Atkins with the foul. Detroit is over the limit, so we'll get free throws. You can follow the NBA legends like Moses Malone, the Love It Live playoff tour on NBA.com. Moses with Dr. J.
I mean, right now, I mean, this fourth quarter, these two teams offensively have just been, I mean, flat rude. If they were dropping humanitarian aid over in Afghanistan right now, it would land in New Zealand. That's how far they are off.
Oh, gosh. Armstrong tonight, 31, you're a beauty. 31 minutes, 14 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Huge game from Darrell Armstrong. Jacques Vaughn is the starter. Armstrong was the starter for 3 years, but he's been so good in a key game tonight. Robinson taking 3. Barry trying to keep it alive. McGrady gets it for Orlando. Plus 8. Inside 100 seconds, fans on their feet at the TD Waterhouse Centre. McGrady looking for a knockout punch. Giracek taking. Rebound 21 for Wallace. Pistons must score here in the final 80 seconds. Barry will hoist a quick one. Robinson to Wallace again inside. Third time in the last 2 minutes. And he has free throws coming, a 45% free throw shooter. Gooden has fouled out.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, it's okay. If you make, he's trying to think, you make these 2 free throws, you get to within 6 points, you run it down 20, and a well-deserved standing ovation with thunder sticks and all for Drew Gooden.
15 points, 7 rebounds. That's a big make of a free throw for a poor free throw shooter. Wallace trying to make the next one, make it a 2-possession game. Nope. Armstrong came in for the board. It's out of bounds off John Barry. The clerk on the floor is a 64% free throw shooter. It's the guy they'd like to give it to here.
And that's why he's running all the way down to the end of the court.
Giracek's a good shooter at the line. 82%, third among NBA rookies.
I think you wait one more time. You wait one more time and see if maybe you can get a 3 and then foul. And you don't want to foul now. Now that it's down to 10, you play D.
Orlando has 1 plus a 20 left. Detroit has 1 timeout left. Portland, Dallas, game 2 of the doubleheader coming up as soon as we're done here in Florida.
Young Miss Natalie Gilbert singing the national anthem at the Trailblazers game. Unfortunately, she forgot the words. Now, the young lady caught in a tough spot before a playoff game, but watch how Maurice Cheeks comes out and rescues her. The crowd, the players, the coaches, they all chip in and start singing the song with Natalie. A great moment in Portland. Could have been a disaster. It turned out to be a very heartwarming moment. Coach Cheeks steps in, and so do the rest of the players. That's NBA basketball, and that's fun, guys.
Now, let me tell you, that's really good.
That was awesome.
That is really good. Good job, Mo Cheeks.
That was awesome.
His Portland team will try to sing for their supper in Game 3. Nessler, Walton, and Aldridge waiting for us in Portland. Immediately, Darrell Armstrong is fouled by Chucky Atkins.
What are you doing? Hey, if you're going to foul him, foul him. You know, why give him 14 free seconds and then foul him? I'm not sure I really understand that. With clock management sometimes, it's wrong. He either foul right away or he let him run the shot clock out and try to get a rebound.
Armstrong, 4 of 4 from the line. As Orlando is much closer to Detroit in free throws attempted. In Game 1, Orlando shot 25 to Detroit's 47. The discrepancy was 11 in Game 2. Home team always shoots more free throws. Nature of the way the games are played. 3-possession game. They all need to be threes. Pistons are struggling offensively. Hamilton cuts baseline to Clark with the block. And that should close business here in Florida tonight. The Orlando Magic eliminated 3-1 in the best-of-5 opening round the last couple of years. Will be playing for a 3-1 series lead on ESPN Sunday afternoon. McGrady for the exclamation point. Rebound Wallace, his 22nd. Robinson at 2. Makes the margin 7 with 16.6 to go. And they foul Darrell Armstrong. Well, you come back to a couple of things as you look ahead to Game 4. Chauncey Billups did nothing for Detroit. What will his health be? I know he didn't show it tonight, but he's a 16-point scorer for this team. They're going to need him. They were better on McGrady, but the other guys got theirs tonight. And Detroit will have to do a better job on Gooden and Giracek, the 2 rookies who came over in the Mike Miller trade from Memphis.
Well, they're going to have to figure out a way. I mean, I think a lot of it's going to have to do with the health of Chauncey Billups. Can he start hitting some outside shots and create some space for himself? Because him and Hamilton are going to have to create for their teammates. Atkins has done a pretty good job of creating for his teammates. But other than that, they went through about a 2.5-quarter stretch where they were just ground down to, I mean, it was ugly.
Atkins drives, is fouled by Andrew DeClercq. He is fouled out. 10.6 to go. It's the stupidest phrase uttered by sportscasters these days. Score the ball. What are you going to score? Your foot? A cone? But Detroit needs to score the ball a lot better than they have here in Game 3 when Game 4 comes your way at 5:30 Eastern on Sunday afternoon.
They need to find a way to get easier shots. What they do.
Right.
I mean, Orlando played some very good defense, but if you're Coach Rick Carlisle, you have to find a way to get guys open shots because a lot of the shots they were taking were tough shots.
So the Detroit Pistons, who won 50 games this year, are the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Armstrong fouled. They will be playing a huge pressure game here on Sunday. After 43 and 46, McGrady kept under 30 thus far, unless he gets a free throw to add here.
Can you have a quiet 29?
He did. He did.
I mean, in the flow of everything, nothing out of context, not going to just, take 3 or 4 shots in a row, got everybody involved.
Rip Hamilton had 22 points, but was only 2 of 13 after the first quarter. time as we wrap it up in Orlando. Magic take the 2-1 lead in the best of 7 as they win by 9, 89-80. Game 4 Sunday, 5:30 Eastern. Producer Phil Dean, Director Jimmy Morris, Statman Marty Arrow, Mike Tirico, Michelle Tafoya, Tom Tolbert saying so long. Thanks for watching this presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. From Florida to Oregon, here's Brad Nessler.